gonna record it?
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Where have you been?
All right, guys, go put your music down. Go and get your symbols out of the case.
I had a project with
You
Mr.
go along,
Robert.
you go along, get set up.
What are we bringing out? Symbols?
Get your symbols out of the case. Get your packet out. Yes.
This is fit through the door.
Yeah, well.
What doesn't fit through the door?
The face front.
You might have to turn it so it's straight up and down. Doesn't matter. Get it down as a team. That's what we're doing.
My hope.
Thank you. Okay. Keep going. Then we can come here. Keep going. And then, bam, good. Stop right there. Take that mallet, put that mallet on the straight table.
Wait.
There you go, you're good. Suspending symbol right here. Those crash symbols there. Everybody else, let's get out our packets from yesterday.
Okay.
So let's get our symbols on our individual stations out of the case. Leave that alone, guys. Mr. Simon is recording the lesson today for his college.
The other way. Other way.
Oh, that way.
There you go.
Come over there.
That's exactly how they're going. See, because now you can pick them up. Are we ready to flip it?
Okay.
Quickly, guys, back at your own station. Have your own symbols out. Pack it out and ready to rock.
Just pretend it's a normal class.
Nothing's different.
Except we have all these in here.
Here you go. Extra fun today.
Yes.
And I'm glad we have a full class period that we don't have testing today, so that's good. Just be able to just do our thing.
Sort of did have testing today. So we didn't put them on the people. Oh, I guess it is.
Mine are online buddies. We got our meat. Afternoon. All right. Cool. Now, as we're getting set up today, guys, that's actually part of our instruction, okay? So, as a percussionist and as a member of the band, guys, it's not important. It's only, well, I would say the best way to say this. It's not enough just to know how to kind of play this stuff. What do we kind of practice when we move from the band hall to here?
Transitioning?
We practice transition, we practice moving equipment, okay? So there's a certain way we talked about with the cymbals and the cymbal cradle. You never want to carry them in the cradle, right? With the concert bass drum, typically when we go down from the band hall to here, we're going to need probably 2 people on them. When we get to the high school, those halls are a little bit easier, and also the bass drum wheels with high school, they're a lot bigger, they're inflatable. So those we can probably move 1 person, but 2 people can man that guy. Okay, suspended cymbal, this is the one thing. When we're carrying a suspended cymbal, and everybody naturally does, just want to make sure. We always want to carry it by the stand. It's easier to kind of go one hand. If you're going to tilt it a little bit, just double check that this is on here tight. Don't have to really turn it, just feel solid. You're good. What happens if we hold it by the cymbal? See how it's kind of rubbing up against the swing nut? And it's going to put stress. What will happen is, and you can see this, we've got a couple old cymbals at the high school that are like this. This is like a perfectly round circle right now. If we have cymbals that don't have the felt protectors on the bottom and top, what will happen, the circle will kind of get odd shaped, it'll almost look like a keyhole, or it'll look like 2 circles, or it'll get cracked. So anytime we have a cymbal that, hey, we're missing a felt, I want you to say, Mr. Gibbon, we're missing a felt, and just stop and just make sure everything is good to go. Does that make sense? Good, just like now, I like that we have our cymbals on the backs, since we don't have 6 other cradles. Exactly what we're doing. Okay, good. So today, guys, I want to get into some suspended cymbal. I want to review some crash cymbals first and foremost. And if we have time, kind of the motivator. I want to get into some conservation. Now we have conservation over here. You've got the mallet. I've got it on the tray table. Anytime we're using this, guys, we want to put a black towel, or we have a piece of carpet, we have carpet chunks in the manhole. Why do you think we do that?
For the fuzzy thing on the end will get messed up.
That's part of it. What's another reason? Check it out. If I have to play the bass drum and mute it, did you hear me drop that bass drum on the music stand? But if I take it off, big time, right? Also, if I put it on there quickly, go put it on there. If I've got the carpet on there, even if I have a bad toss, it tends to stay in place. Does that make sense, folks? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Thank you. So that's why we have to kind of take care of our stuff, and knowing just the setup and logistics of each of these instruments is just as important. Okay,
Now, don't throw sticks if you can avoid it. Always place.
everybody, let's review some cymbal technique, okay? So we stand with your feet shoulder apart. Okay, air cymbal before we do a lot. So everybody take your right hand, hold it out, grab the key, like we have a snare grip, turn the key. Okay, left hand is at about what angle? 45, so left hand's not straight up and down. It's not flat. 45. So we have a key, we got our cymbal. Make that right hand key, make it a cymbal. Put them together, make sure there's a little offset. They don't want to be totally in the same spot. Little offset. Pull them apart. Put that top cymbal a little closer to the bottom. Now I want that slight crash, like flam, not co-rash, crash. Fall through a couple times around, go. You don't have to lift them like super far apart. For now, try to keep that left hand kind of still. We don't have to be too tall. Most of us aren't doing it too low. Kind of between your belly button and then your chest line. Okay. Hands down to the side. Pick up, without making a sound, pick up your right cymbal only. Okay, you can hold it with your left hand. Right hand. Yeah, it should be monkey see, monkey do. Rehold it just like me.
Hold it. Hold the cymbal. Hold it.
Right now, like this down here,
Hold it with
like
your
this.
left hand. Hold it with your left hand.
Support it with the left hand.
Just left hand.
Grab it,
Check with the key.
like we're gonna grab a drumstick, but make your knuckles and your thumb touch what the part of the cymbal. Someone raise your hand if you remember what part of the cymbal we call that.
The bell.
Naomi, did you raise your hand?
The bell.
The bell, thank you for raising your hand, okay? So thumbs on the bell, knuckles on the bell. Landon, you've kind of got the key already. Right now the key should be going kind of this way. There you go. Okay, now hold it up. It's like I'm going at a key like a sideways door. Make your cymbal angle like this, like Ian right now in front. You need to come
Pointing
in
like
sideways.
this. Point like that.
Okay? Aiden, you're kind of this way. It's kind of be at this 45. There we go. Ariana, there. Keep going, Ariana. Keep flexing. There you go.
Holding it like this.
There you go. Other way, Ian. James, stand up tall. If you stand up tall, your arms are going to have to work so hard. If I'm like leaning on something all the way to my arms, but do this. Something similar way goes to my legs. Okay, go and put it on the cymbal, put it on the ground, take a quick break. Without making noise. Good. Shake it out. Okay. Pick it up. Show me your left cymbal grip. Remember, I'm going to be opposite of you folks. Okay, double check you have your knuckle and your thumb touching the cymbal bell.
Don't hold it out like that. You're holding it like straight out.
Okay, James, you got to go more angle. Okay, James, I can see like this part. I want to see just like the side profile.
Okay.
Like right now, you're kind of seeing it like this. I need to send cymbals more like this. Good. Now we just make sure we're not leaning
Make
against
sure
the
you're holding
wall.
it between your thumb.
Ian, lower your cymbal. There you go. And your wrist is all turned. Ian, go back to this for me. There you go. Now from there, go here.
Yeah, can you hold it? Cymbal? Hold
here, Ian.
Is it heavy?
More.
Yeah. You
You see how I have a space? Put your knuckles
Okay.
up on the cymbal.
get stronger
There you go.
as you play them.
There you go. Does that feel a little different? Good. Cymbals on the other cymbal. That makes you notice. Good to see you, Troy. Troy, I know we don't have cymbals at home. Let's just kind of air cymbal. Let me double check my camera settings. All right. There we go. Switching my webcam. Sweet. I'll demonstrate a couple times. We're going to try some crashes. Some double check thumbs, knuckles on the bell. The more I'm back, the less control I have. So it's like I'm holding a drumstick, but I want to touch that cymbal bell. Left hand's at that 45. Right hand, I can kind of start at the 45. I want to make sure I have a little offset, so they're not being directly towards each other. It should kind of look like this. I pull them apart. Right hand, I push with my thumb a little bit. They're not going to be the same angle. Slightly different angle. And then I have that slight flange to get that crash sound. Not crash, not the ash. Okay. Show me your cymbal grip with your hands. Cymbal grip with your hands. Put your hands out like air cymbals. Okay. Go make your hands flat. Okay. Make sure the angles aren't parallel. Put the inside of this one closer in. Make your hands flat, Aiden. Guys, we're looking for this. Just like we did. Please pay attention. Thank you.
There you go.
One crash together. 1, 2, and ready, and go. I realize I'm not lifting them pretty far. Just kind of dropping them like we dropped them on the floor yesterday. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Okay, feet shoulder width apart, off the wall, guys. 1, 2, again, and play. Okay, without making a noise, pick up your cymbals.
You're bringing me into your arm.
Show me your ankle, guys.
I know they're heavy. Just gotta have it on.
Check your feet shoulder width apart. There we go, looking way better than yesterday, okay? James, try to lower them if you can. There we go. Good. Good.
Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Let me see. There you go.
So,
Now I realize, guys, my left wrist is not, some of you are trying to kind of crank it. My left arm's going to be kind of straight. Okay, put them down to your side, just relax a little bit. Now when you get better, have you find that stance quicker. Go find that perfect setup. Left hand 45, right hand offset, right hand a little different angle.
lower your cymbals. You gotta weigh it.
A little more sing, a little, there you go. Are you on your
Shoulders
kind
are
of
10
like
feet
this?
too high.
Make it more this way. Here we go, one crash. 1, 2, together, and when we finish, we should come back to about the same position. Let's play it again. There we go. Now, part of, guys, we're doing this because we're trying to build what right now also?
Okay.
We're trying to build some strength, too. That's a big part of playing these songs.
Okay, you two,
1, 2, ready, and go. One more time. 1, 2, ready, and go. Cymbals down. Give you guys one by one. Ariana, you're up first. Best crash competition. Winner is going to get a prize. Here we go, Ariana. 1, 2, are we on it, and go. Crash, right? Ian?
Snare drum sticks. Should be the same idea.
Careful. Yeah, a lot to deal with, lots of spatial stuff happening, right, guys? Yep. It'll be much easier when we have the cradle, but if we can do this without the cradle, we're going to be in good shape. Right, here we go. Ian, 1, 2, ready, and go. I like the tone, but it's still crash instead of crash. Aiden? Check that left cymbal grip. You gotta put all your fingers around that left cymbal strap.
All fingers around the strap. Hold the strap. There you go. There
Right,
you
there we go,
go.
right?
And lower it, lower it, lower it.
And your wrist is all like this, make your left arm straight.
There you go, there you go. Nope, straight, make it straight.
You put that thumb on the bell, put the thumb on the bell. There you
No.
go. There you go. Now, Ian, I know exactly what you're doing. Sorry, Aiden. Grip super close there. And even closer. Always around. You gotta hold on to it. And then try to get this guy flat. Alright, try it. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and go. Kind of air pocket, you feel that? So you had a good fling at first, but then we didn't pull off quick enough. All right, Mr. Landon, quickly. Landon, James, and then you. Landon, right hand's looking good so far. Kind of looks weird, but it kind of sounds funky. Right now, if you're playing snare drum, go and set your cymbal sound for a second. And Mr. Sines hit the nail on the head, Mr. Landon. Instead of having a snare drum set up like this, the way you're gripping the straps is kind of like all. You know what I mean? So you got to start with that and then turn the key. You just don't put the key in and it turns automatically, right? You got to put it in and then you turn. Does it make sense, guys? It's just like your house. James? Good setup. 1, 2, ready, and go. I like how you start. When you finish, keep the cymbals in that same angle. Not too bad. And nail it. Good setup. All right, 1, 2, ready, and go. Okay. Naomi, in the class, Sammy, you won that round.
Okay.
Good job, dude. Everybody go pick your cymbals up. In general, I'm hearing flams that are too spaced out. Think crash, not co-rash. Should be a slight flam, but not a noticeable flam. The only person that should notice it should be maybe you if you're watching in slow motion. The audience is never going to hear a flam. You see these crashes? Can't really hear the flam, right? You just hear the crash. We're going to go together.
Your left hand's looking really good.
1, 2, spread your feet out. There you go. 2, and ready, and go. Again, and 2, and ready, and go. 1 and 2, check your angles and go. 1 and 2, one more time, and go. Lock to the cymbals, pull to your chest. Good, and the easiest way to muffle, guys, put your cymbals out like you're going to play them. So pull them straight into your body. Some of you guys might need to go shoulders. Okay, just kind of depends on your body. Some of you, like me, I can go belly because I'm a bigger dude now. But we got it. Cymbals down on the pads. Good job, folks.
Not bad, not bad. Does it hurt? Yeah.
Mine are the perfect. Mr. Goodman.
Let's trade out Ariana and Landon cymbals. Yes?
Okay, so I changed my grip on it because, can I show you? You get the, I was holding it like this, and then I like changed my grip to like, what's it, like this?
Yeah, if you need to put your thumb out more, that's okay.
Okay, because that was way better than like this, because it was like,
Yeah. Okay, everybody get your packets out. I want to look at a couple things on our first page here, guys. A couple things on our packet. Okay, let me share for the online guys. Oh, welcome, folks. We're going to walk you guys through the symbol packets online. So everybody knows. So I'm here on our page. I go to classwork. We go all the way down to music. Accessory pack. We're studying accessory percussion. Okay. A couple of things. Before we proceed further, students should be familiar with some of these standard articulation markings. Okay. Staccato marker. We say staccato.
staccato.
That's going to be a dot on top of, it's not to the side of a note, on top of directly below. It's going to be close to the black part of the note. Now if I play a note like that staccato, on marimba we can't really change the way the marimba sounds. I want the marimba to ring shorter or longer, I really can't control it a whole lot, right? But on cymbals, if I want to make my cymbal sound shorter after a crash, what do I do, Ian? I'm going to muffle it. So if I have a staccato marking or a dot underneath some notes, I'm just going to muffle shorter. Okay? Next thing, to the right. A tenuto marker. We say tenuto.
Tenuto.
Tenuto, this is going to be a line, sustained or broad. And I will say sometimes in percussion world, sometimes the composer will mean by like a little baby accent. Make sense? I'll help you guys through that. But we will see that next year in the honor band. We'll see that definitely in high school. Okay, here's the big one. If I have a note and I have a tie into a rest, or LV, we're going to say let vibrate.
Let vibrate.
We're going to say that one more time, let vibrate.
Let vibrate.
That is such a big deal. Turn your page of the packet, please. So, and the author of this book is actually Ken Wiley. He teaches at Marcus High School in Texas. Okay, very famous percussion teacher, okay? Number one, ultimately, ears, ears, ears. Determine the content of musical environment. Critical listening awareness will provide clues for the percussionist when it comes to technique, beater type, and cymbal selection. Practice exercise below to slow tempo. Okay, so number one, let me zoom in. A couple things. If we're talking about a pair of cymbals, it will say either crash cymbals. We're going to say crash cymbals.
Crash cymbals.
Sometimes it will just say cymbals. And plural means two. Plural with that S. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. One of our cross ELR things. So for this plural cymbals, that means it's going to be our crash cymbals. Okay. Notice, I don't have regular looking notes. The note heads are what here, James? They're not circles, they're what?
They are.
Don't lay on the board like that.
Yeah, get off the marimba, you know better. Hands
The
off.
line?
The note
What is,
head.
oh,
This thing
It's an
right
X.
here. X. So sometimes, and a lot of times, cymbals or accessory percussions, the note heads are going to look different so you know, hey, this is not a snare drum, just a reminder, okay? So I've got the X. It's still going to be a quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4 with the repeat, okay? I've got this tie that goes into the rest. So let me look at your first page one more time. Turn back to the first page in the packet. This is something a lot of the 7th and 8th graders are forgetting, so I'm making a big deal with you guys. Tie means to let vibrate or ring. Go back to page 2. So, number 1. For 1 second, this will make sense. Okay, stay with me. This is going to be an easy concept if we do this right the first time in this section. If I have a note and then a rest on cymbals, what do you think I'm going to do during the rest? What do we think? Rest means silence. What do you think I'm going to do, Naomi?
Muffle.
I'm going to muffle. So if I didn't have these ties, if I didn't have these arc-looking things, or like the slurs we're thinking about for our marimba songs, I would just play it like this. I'll play number 1, no repeat. Check it out. 1, 2, here's number 1, go. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Now I have the tie, and the rest of the composer wants the cymbals to let. Everybody
Vibrate.
say let vibrate.
Let vibrate.
Everybody say LV.
LV.
You're going to see LV a lot, or let vibrate, or sometimes it'll say let vibrate. And then the rest of the song we're going to do the same way. Okay, let's put our music on our music stand. Simple stuff. Thank you guys. So check it out. Number 1. Number 1 with the tie now is going to be like this. Totally different sound, yes? Now, here's the thing. We was talking about ears, ears, ears in context. It's almost like you got to think about sometimes when you're dealing with your parents. Sometimes you know, okay, now's an appropriate time that I can joke with my parents and they're trying to have fun with me. Or, you know, oh, I know Dad just came home from work. I know I like didn't clean my room, so I know I can't joke with him right now. Does that make sense? So sometimes, even if you don't have ties, if I'm playing the trumpets and the trumpets are going, da, da, sometimes I might want to let that vibrate, even though it's not written. Because it'd be weird if I played it like this. I'm matching the trumpets. I'm not really matching them, you know what I mean?
Trumpets would look at you like, what?
Yeah, Mr. Ross will be like, fuck that ring. The other thing, also be just so weird, I'll try to say this. If the trumpets are going short, da, and I do this, da, there's the silence, da, you know what I mean? I want to match the musical context. No restroom right now. Okay, so let's practice number one both ways. Let's pick up our cymbals.
Playing position.
Get to that left hand 45. Right hand offset. Quick as you can. There you go, James. James is the fastest. There you go. Change. Game changer with the different cymbals, right, Ariana?
Right now you're like pulling them up here.
All right, here we go. Number one, no muffling with those ties. We're going to say let vibrate.
Let vibrate.
Here we go. Feet apart, tap your foot. Number one, so 4 times with the repeat. 1 and 2 and ready, here we go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, and done. And why are we muffled? Because it was the end of the line or the end of the song. Okay, now let's try it. One time with the muffling. I'm going to make the sound stop exactly on which beat, folks.
The rest.
What number is that rest coming in on?
2.
2. So for this case, put your cymbals down to the side for a second. Relax, there we go.
Yeah, that should be where we rest.
So check it out. That's not correct, or this 1, 2, exactly on 2. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Nod your head if that makes sense. Go cymbals up. There you go. Doing better if those little ones landed.
Yeah, it's a flop, right?
1, 2, 1 and 2. Number 1, muffle, go. 2, 3, 4. 2, repeat. 4, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. At the end of the like that. It's on your side. One thing we need to make sure of after we crash, muffle, and then get back up to our perfect position. Here we go. Number 1 with the muffling one more time. Go cymbals up. 1, 2, 1 and 2. Number 1 with muffle. 2, 3, 4. 2, set and 4. 2, 3, 4. And there you stay there. Because we ended it.
Oh, no, he's dropped so
okay.
loud.
Cymbals down, that's going to happen.
So, push them.
Mr. Science, if you could tie that strap for
Okay.
us.
Alright. So what's happening when you hold it? It's like slipping out of your hand and you're like picking up that. So if you need to adjust it like between, go ahead and adjust it.
Yeah, that's okay. That happens sometimes.
That's just going to happen, guys. It's not Aiden's
Oh,
fault.
it ripped.
We should have an extra strap in the bag or wig right there.
Okay.
You got the marching set. I think it's going to be to your left there.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Maybe one better.
There's one right there.
Yeah. If I check in your cymbal bag, see if we got another strap. It's not on the ones that are harder to tie.
Mm-hmm.
Work good, but they're hard to tie.
Oh, you got one? Oh, it's fine.
Sabian.
I don't have one.
No.
I got 2.
No such luck.
Okay. I'll just use. Just let
You got one of those. We have to double knot them.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Thank
okay.
you guys. That's okay. That happens sometimes. Thanks.
Yeah. You can put it down, Ian.
There's a pencil in my bag.
Yeah, sometimes high school kids will keep that if they need to write in music. All right, and cymbal knots we'll go through when we get to the high school. Once you're in high school, I don't tie knots.
We teach us how to tie a knot.
Not today. When we get to high school, I'd like take some time. We like drink Gatorade in the shade.
Oh,
when it's hot
okay.
out.
I'm good with that.
And then after that, it's like you're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
I teach you one time real slow. We practice it to make sure we can do it then. It's like tying your shoes, right?
It's like learning how to fly like birds and learning how to fly in the mountain leaves, right?
Exactly.
I think.
All right. So think about this also. If we practice number one both ways, if we see this in music, Aiden, are we going to play that with or without the muffling though? Without, because we've got the ties that mean let vibrate. Okay. Number two, crashes on one and one other beat.
3.
Three. Here we go. Is there a muffling in between?
Yes.
Yes. Here we go. Number two. Let's pick the cymbals up. Aiden, just kind of air cymbal. We're going to find that left-hand angle.
Sorry.
Go quickly and quietly, guys. Good, Naomi. Good off the wall. Good. Right, here we go. Number two. Play on 1 and 3. Muffle on 2 and 4. A 1 and 2. Number 2 and go. 2. 2. 4. So we gotta move quickly, yes? Let's go a little slower. Here we go. Tap with me. 1 and 3. 1 and 2. Nice and slow. Here we go. 2. 4. 2. Cymbals in muffling position. Look like me. Look at me. Okay, cymbals down to your side. Now, if I'm going like super fast, faster. That's going to be pretty tricky. So at some point, if we're going so fast, are you going to be able to muffle? No. We just have to really think about the context here. Does that make sense?
Well,
just like I said, if dad's really upset, if your like brother did something really bad, now's not the time for ask, oh, Dad, can I get $20 with go out with my friends? Probably need to wait a little bit, right? Here we go. Number 2, real fast now. So we're not going to muffle. Here we go. Number 2, we'll muffle. 1, 3, 1 and 2, and ready, go. Cymbals down.
Me, Mr. Goodman.
Oh, down, down.
Down the back. You need a second.
Bro.
Yeah.
It's just
No,
really,
you live.
like it'll
Oh,
slip through.
step rolling, step.
Nylon ones are durable, but they switch out. Cool. All right, so that is crash, and we're going to say crash cymbal. Now, Aiden, grab your yarn mallets. Come up here.
Ooh, lucky.
Yarn mallets out of your bag. Your white or teal
Are marimba ones?
marimba mallets, yes.
I forgot my big white one.
Now, just coming over here, I can also play number 2 on suspended cymbal. We're going to say suspended.
Suspended.
So check it out. Couple things about suspended cymbal. I could play with pretty much any stick I have. Stand right there. Just stand off camera for a second. All my guys can see. Everybody take your imaginary yarn mallets, or if you have them, cool.
Can we
Hold
bring
them out. I don't want to go in the middle of the cymbal. That really isn't going to be any sound. I don't want to go halfway between the bell and the edge. I want to go all the way on the edge. If I'm thinking it like a clock, I want to play on 3 o'clock and then 9 o'clock. Don't hack. So check it out. If I have one note, I can play with one hand. Listen to the sound I get if I play with one hand, all the way in the very edge. Okay. If I play with 2 hands, which I'm a big fan of, 2 hands at the same time, a double stop, not a flam. You probably even see it. Look at the edge of the cymbal. One hand. 2 hands. See how it's vibrating more? You can see it being blurry. So if we use 2 hands for a double stop, it's going to get a darker sound, and it's just going to get more of the cymbal sound happening. Okay? If I ever need to play a roll on a cymbal, you guys will hear this sound. You're like, oh, I've heard this sound before. What type of strokes roll am I using? Look and raise your hand if you know the answer. Am I using a buzz roll, a double stroke roll, a triple stroke roll? What am I using?
Double stroke.
Naomi?
Is it a double stroke?
Nope. James?
Triple stroke?
Triple stroke would be.
Oh,
Oh.
wait. What were the answers? What were the choices?
What do you think? We use it on marimba.
Oh.
Is it,
Naomi?
it's something like roll, I think, right?
Oh!
Say roll.
Oh.
Ariana?
Of course, Ian knows out of a
One more
sudden.
guess.
Interval roll?
No.
Okay, nice.
What were the? What
No.
were the?
Listen. I'll put it in the chat.
Single stroke rows.
Everybody say single stroke roll.
Single
stroke
stroke
roll.
So it's I'm just alternating using like basic stick number 2. I'm making that happen, okay? So we roll with me. I'm actually gonna roll pretty slow. And at the end, I just lift up to make it vibrate. So Aiden, come up here.
Alright. Hopefully that lasts.
Okay. Let's stand behind the suspended symbol. Now it's at 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Turn your hands over, just like snare drum. The very edge is going to feel like half of our mallet is hanging off the edge of the cymbal. We're still going to start up and end up. Don't play number 2 without the muffling. Here we go. Everybody else air drum with us. Here we go. Number 2. 1, 2. 1 and 2. Number 2. Here we go. So we have half notes, 4 notes. So this isn't going to be a roll. This is going to be a normal strike. 1, 3. 1 and 2 and ready and go. 2. Done, so we're going to muffle. You just want to grab it. You don't want to grab, like if I need to muffle a little bit, I can grab a little bit, then gradually. But most of the time, song ends. I can grab pretty aggressively. You don't want to get this sound. You get kind of that woody sound, that sizzly sound. You can grab both hands. Here we go. Everybody back there, grab your crash cymbals. Aiden's going to play this on suspended cymbal. We will play number 2 on crash cymbal.
Wait, I have a question.
Quickly.
Would you be able to play with your mallets on these, like hold it with one and then have your
No, we just put it on a stand. If you get some marching band or something.
Yeah. Only if you have another friend hold it for you, but
We got stands. Very edge of the cymbal.
You got spoons.
We go pick up the cymbals quickly, guys.
Ready.
Go. Quickly, left hand 45. Right hand that offset angle. Here we go. Number 2. No muffling until we get to the end. Then we always muffle at the very end. 1. Stand up tall. 2. 1 and 2. Number 2. Here we go. Stand up tall. Muffle. Everybody should look like me. Look like me. Let's try that again. Make sure we're playing together. Make sure we're not following through so much, and we just a little. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and ready. Here we go. Muffle. James, make sure you have still an angle. You're kind of getting monkey.
Yeah, you go.
Cymbal sound in the back.
Right now,
Okay, Aiden, go back to your zone. Thank you. Okay, third instrument we'll be studying today. No questions right now, guys. We gotta move. We're like running a long time. We have the bass drum. Everybody say this: bass drum.
bass drum.
It's gonna be something like bass, B-A-S-S. Some people say bass, but it's bass drum, like I'm turning up the bass in our stereo. Okay, notice on this mallet, there's a tiny little dot, and I gotta remark this. The dot is for the seam. Some mallets have seams, some mallets don't. The seam is actually where this big piece of fleece, the big white fluffy stuff, is sewn together. So we don't want to play on that, so I'm going to put my thumb in line with the dot. Seams on top. I don't want to play in the middle. I definitely don't want to play on the edge. I'm going to go to the middle, just a couple inches below. Not halfway, a couple inches below, okay? Here's the sound right dead in the middle. We use this very rarely. Sometimes we use this in marching band. Okay? So it kind of sounds really thuddy. Here's the sound at the edge. Kind of sounds papery, right? Like I've got a big sheet of papers and I'm rattling them. Here is off center. Let's say this sentence for me. A bass drum goes boom.
A bass drum goes boom.
Okay, a bass drum is not going to go. Sometimes we use muffling, but this is going to be too much muffling. Bass drum's not going to go thud.
Ooh.
Right? That's a good drum set sound,
Someone
but that's not appropriate for this bass drum, okay? So this muffling, it's like makeup. A little bit of makeup will make you look good, Ariana.
Ariana doesn't need
Just in
makeup.
theory. But think about this. It's better to have not enough makeup than to have like way too much.
Uh-huh.
Nobody wants to see that. These are the
Someone
jokes.
at the mall scene looked like a clown.
Okay, so with
It was
what I can do for
not.
number 2, I can do a couple things. I can, and I'll set up and kind of play backwards. I can muffle on 2 and 4 on this head. So my right hand's like a spider. Right hand drum, look at me. Make your right hand a bass drum mallet. Left hand make a spider. I could do that. Air drum number 2 with me. 1, 2, number 2. Here we go.
Bro.
Now we stop at the end. It's still vibrating, so at the very end,
Huh?
I need to muffle both heads. So check it out.
Oh.
I can hit this one. This is going to be loud. This is the fun part of this class. If I muffle, we still hear it?
Yeah.
Because this bottom head is still vibrating. So at the very end of the song, I might have the sheet, and that's why we don't want to stand up here, like we're not going to sit on our bass drum. Feet should be behind the bass drum
Why would you
stand.
sit by it?
At the
Gone.
very end, or if there's a big pause in the song or a bunch of silence, we'll muffle the back head. Other option, check it out. I could put a little muffling and hold there the whole time. Still a little boom sound, right? All the way down. We get that thud. Sometimes we use that for a special effect, but that's not normally, you don't want to use that unless I tell you or one of the other directors tell you. Make sense? Only when called for. I could also do this. A different type of muffling.
I heard
In
it,
general,
but-
what we'll do here, and it depends on the song. Sometimes I'll even have students will just kind of muffle, hold your whole hand here. That's a little more focused, so it kind of depends on the song. Just like we talked about, it depends with your parents. If they're in a good mood,
Bad man.
ask for extra allowance. If they're in a bad mood, clean your room, yes?
No, I got
So
it.
it depends on your song. Depends on the song. Depends on, if I'm playing with the tubas, since the tuba is a lower instrument, I want might want more boom in my sound. If I'm playing with the snare drum doesn't have a lot of tone, I might want to use a little more muffling. If I'm playing with the flutes, I might want to muffle a lot, because I know the flutes are high and this instrument's really low, so I'm trying to get a better blended sound. All right, question, Mr. James.
With you said about something about if they're in mad mood, don't go ask. You just go get their credit card.
No.
That's what I would do.
Stop, James. Okay, this is what we need to do at this point. First of all, I want to make sure I give Mr. Sines. Do you have anything else to add about today, Mr. Sines?
Yeah, like Mr. Goodman was saying, it's a lot of listening and making those decisions yourself.
Yes.
Sometimes a band director will tell you, I want you to play it this way. But a lot of times they won't. So you'll have to think and you'll have to decide, is this the best way to play it or is there a better way to play it? So,
Yes, and ultimately, for me, it's not even, when I was younger, it's like, oh, I can play this real easy this way. It's not about the easiness of playing, it's about how it
Sounds.
sounds. Good. So this is what we need to do today, guys. Go ahead and pack up your cymbals, put them in the bag. I'll wait till everybody zip them up.
What
We'll do something a little different with these cymbals today. sure the zipper is zipped up all the way, please.
Mr. Goodman.
Yes, ma'am.
If they're mad, just teach them how to play the symbols or something. Let's go.
That
Here.
kind of sounds like the T-Rex from Jurassic
I'll tell you guys a story when Mr. Goodman was in beginner band. I was so lousy at symbols. The director, like it wasn't happening. I was like, you guys would look like all-stars compared to me, just in the reading stuff. Mr. Goodman had to take his symbols home to practice. I was that bad at it. Okay, so what we need to do, take your symbol bags, make sure they're zipped up. I want you guys to line them up on that wall between the pearl and the check pattern posters.
So that one?
Yep, over there. Because tomorrow we're going to be kind of back to normal-ish in the other classes. We might do one more day of this. Tomorrow we might start on some other things.
Move that stand.
Yeah, move
Don't
the
lean
stands
on
out of the way if
stand.
we need to. Okay, James and Aiden, make sure those are lined up nice and neat when everybody's done. Everybody else, the same thing you brought down here, take the same thing back.
You said I get a
When
five
you mean,
star
Mr. Goodman, when you
Yes.
mean lined up, do you mean like on top of each other?
If we need to stack them like that, well, that's fine. Just
That
make them-
bass
that
drum
was
sounds
pretty
like
nice.
the
As long as
T-Rex
not
from
like
Jurassic
all
Park. It sounds like the movie theater in the pads. Nah, it sounds like a bunch
All right, this is the
There's nothing like
They're
recording.
Thank you.
I feel smooth sounds like thunder to you.
I think I'm just gonna name it. We got this one. This one. We got